This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for building your brand and your business with a beautiful website, whether it's to sell your products, content, or your time. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well.
Greetings, everyone. I should expect that you're all fine.
Yay. There was a point where I didn't think I was going to film part 2. I've been putting this off for about a week and a half. I never want to go near this show ever again. The one thing I love about being a YouTuber is that as soon as I find a piece of media that I'm interested in, I'll make a video about it and then never, ever want anything to do with it ever again because I'm so sick of it. It happened with Love is Blind. Everyone that's expecting Love is Blind part 2, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But Kath told me some news.
What?
It's been cancelled.
Forever. Why?
Why do you think?
I heard something that there was some bad practice going on.
What?
Like they were making them hungry and getting them drunk.
Lem, that's Love is Blind. I'm talking about Snack/Life.
Oh.
I'm saying that we're filming this video today because Snack/Life has officially been cancelled.
Oh. What? But to be fair, it was over, wasn't it?
There could have been space for a sequel. We're going to be running through the events of season 2, the final season. But to be fair, I don't think we need any more of this. It's one of those things that's it's a cultural phenomenon.
Season 2 was even too much.
Season 2 was too much.
Too life. /Life Tokyo Drift.
To life. That's a good one.
Life 2, like TOO?
TOO. Life at the E is 2s. So, obviously, you got to pop open the Prosecco! Woo!
On me.
Ah! Woo! I hate watching anything that doesn't have a DIY slime underneath it or a Subway Surfers. Or sometimes they do a Subway Surfers and a slime and a cutting soap. Cheers. And just before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Squarespace, the perfect all-in-one platform to engage your audience and create a beautiful and functional website, whether it's to sell your products, your content, or your time. Please excuse the way I'm dressed. I'm about to go to a rave. A few Squarespace features which really stand out to me as a creator is, first of all, the flexible website templates, where you can customize your website template however you like, how it looks, update your content, basically fit it to your every need and desire, and make your website look however you like on any device. And may I just say, all of the website templates are really cute and there's such a wide range to choose from. There really is something for everyone. You can also drive up sales and engagement with email campaigns. You can collect email subscribers through your Squarespace website, and whether it's to send a welcome email to new customers, you can also share discount codes with email campaigns. You can announce upcoming sales. The world is your oyster. And you can track how your email campaigns are doing with the Squarespace analytics tools. And also with Squarespace, you can easily sell custom merch. All you have to do is design the products, and the production, inventory, and shipping are all handled for you. It saves so much time, so much money, and you can sell your merch on your Squarespace online store. It really is the all-in-one platform, okay? And of course, the Squarespace online store isn't just reserved for custom merch and physical products. You can also sell digital products, and you can also sell services. So make sure you guys go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/jordantheresa for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video, and let's get into it. I can't even lie, I haven't even looked at this script since the last video, so this is all a surprise to me. If we haven't watched our coverage, our video, our review,
wrap up.
our analysis
of
the
/Life season 1.
Link in bio.
Link will be. It's right here.
Oh no, Len, that's so much effort to do in post.
The link is
so
right
much
here.
in post.
Jordan's channel's right here, and my channel is down here. And then if you look behind you, there's Jordan's last video. Is up there.
I can't even lie. I didn't even know. I haven't even touched this script since the last video. Click the link in the description, or just go onto my channel like a normal person to check out the last season. So, because I'm not going to sum up anything. The only thing I am going to sum up is sort of where we left off. Billy left Cooper in the home.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, was running to Brad's apartment.
And it was after everything was going good.
And it was after everything was going good that she had an existential crisis at Sasha's book meeting, launch talk thing. She's running to Brad's through New York City. And Cooper's tracking her, knows where she is, so he decides to ring Francesca, sexy boss Francesca.
Woo!
Billy gets to Brad and she's like, nothing's changing. I'm not leaving my husband now. Fuck me. Oh! So now we're on to season 2 and you're back in the room.
Why'd you say it like Gemma Collins?
If Gemma Collins was Darren Brown. And you're back in the room, babe. They start making out, like it's getting so frisky. She reaches down to touch his whisper. His crunchy. She goes to touch his Milky Bar and he goes, wait, we can't do this. I've met someone else.
I've got a girlfriend, Billy.
And then he slips in, she's a model.
I have to laugh. I'm sorry.
And then he slips in after the fact, he's such a dig that she's a model. Oh, and she's pregnant.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God. He literally goes, her name's Gigi. She's a model and she's pregnant. Like, reshuffle your priorities.
The model bit was so unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. Oh, I've met someone. She's an accountant. Like, no.
I've met someone. She works in HR.
Billy's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I just saw you at Sasha's book event. And Brad's like, what are you talking about? I wasn't at Sasha's book event. Billy's hypnotized.
She's actually hallucinating from lack of...
So Billy leaves, head hung very low.
She's probably thinking, well, at least Cooper doesn't know where I am. I can just kind of go home.
There's a flash forward, and Billy is living in her own apartment in New York City.
New York City.
New York. And Sasha comes over to visit, and we find out from this visit that Billy is living in New York 3 days a week and then lives in Connecticut with the kids 4 days a week, and her and Cooper swap. And I'm not going to lie, why does that sound kind of ideal? Very easy for us to say with no children. And Sasha's like, we need to go out. You're single. Let's go out. I'm actually going on TV tomorrow, so we need to go out to celebrate. And Billy's like,
Sasha's blowing up.
Sasha's blowing up, okay? And Billy's like, all right, fine. So they go out to the bar, and at first it's an absolute meh. It's a meh. Billy feels really uncomfortable. She feels weird without wearing her ring. And then she accidentally headbutts a man in the face.
Oh, yeah.
But this man is Majid. I like Majid. I think he's good looking. I think he's very handsome and lovely.
I like his accent.
He's a short king.
Oh, yeah, he's very short.
He's a short king, but like I dig it on him. I
Makes
think it
me
suits
feel at
him.
ease.
You're 6 foot. So there's a flashback as per Snack
fucking
Slash
hell.
Life. Love a flashback.
No, this season moves at a rate of knots. Like, if you blink, you will miss like 6 months of story.
The pacing of this season, even though I believe that season 2 is superior to season 1,
Definitely.
I think that the pacing is just completely
The
off.
breakneck pace is crazy.
At one point, it will be like one episode equals one entire day. And then the next episode will be like set over 6 months. So they've done a flash forward.
Yeah.
And now they're doing flashbacks to season 1. But I
Yeah.
sort of just think, why didn't you just keep it
Just
at that
keep it
time?
linear.
And then progress the story in a linear
Best
fashion.
way to start a story at the end. It's intense.
It's a
how
mind
quick
fuck.
it goes.
It's a lot.
I went to the toilet and I came back. I was like, "What's going on?" You're like, "It's been 4 months."
I aged
How
too.
long was I in there?
I was like, it's been 4 months. Jordan died.
I reported you missing.
40 years ago. Bump into Majid. Billy has a flashback.
Was bumped into a flashback.
We bumped into a flashback.
Yeah.
Billy like skulks home and she's
Oh.
like, hey!
How y'all doing?
Thinking maybe he doesn't know where I've been. And she's like, so
Craziest story.
why don't we work on things? Why don't we go
He'll
to
be like,
counselling?
You'll never guess who's having a baby.
Cooper's just like, No. I am so done with this. So Majid and Billy are still like first meeting, bumped into each other, whatever. And Majid's like, let me buy you a drink, let me buy you a drink. And Billy just spills all. She's like, no, I'm actually in the middle of a really messy divorce and I am in love with someone else who now hasn't got another woman pregnant. I have 2 children. One of them is... And any other man would probably be a little bit scared off, but not Majid. Majid goes, you know what? I love this. I want to cut to the chase with dating. I hate the whole faffing around. You've cut straight to the chase. I'm into you. Billy's technique to get Majid away from her only drew him further in. He was obsessed. And then whilst at home, Hudson's either asking, what's the maid's name again? The nanny?
She's our favourite character.
She's our favourite character. I've forgotten her name.
Oh, this is
whoopsie.
So let's move our mouths and pretend we're saying something. I go like, and the maid. And then Kath can just put it in.
With her Welsh accent as well. So, the nanny...
Olga.
Hudson's either telling the nanny or he's telling his dad that he wants mommy and daddy to be home at the same time. He wants them to be a family.
Oh my god. Shut up, Hudson. They're divorced. Did you not watch season 1?
And Ellery's actually taken her first steps. I mean, to be fair, it's sort of like meant to be a thing like, oh, both Cooper and Billy are like missing these important steps in their children's lives. But it's sort of just like, it's almost anti-divorce, even though like this show, if anything, should be pro-divorce.
It's pro/life. It's like finding the balance between your and life.
You need to say snacks. Otherwise, Kath has to bleep that out.
Should I just say a bunch of stuff and she bleep it out like I'm swearing loads?
Okay.
Like in SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what, yeah? I'm tired of you telling me to all this. And then also, and you know what? Another thing is, you can get your
Olga.
in the mail and I will write back and you're going to, yeah, exactly. And that's on everything. On my mama as well.
Also, it's interesting that I feel like at the end of season 1 to the beginning of season 2, there was either a change in writers or they changed direction, because from the end of season 1, you think that they are going to start having affairs because she's like, I'm still married, this doesn't change anything. But at season 2, they're getting a divorce.
It gets very monogamous.
It gets very monogamous.
Yeah.
It's monogamy/life. So, cut to Sasha and Billy go to like the set where Sasha is filming this TV show that she's going to be on. I think she's getting interviewed and Billy's there like in the stands. She's supporting and Sasha's being interviewed and she's like, I don't believe in marriage. I actually got proposed to recently and I turned it down.
Did that happen in season 1? I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, she FaceTimed Billy saying, oh, I just got proposed to, but I don't know whether I'm going to say yes or not. So she turned that person down and she's an independent woman
wrote the book,
for life.
Independent Woman.
Independent woman for life.
Legally distinct independent woman than Beyonce. Does Beyonce not have a song called Independent Woman? How does it go? Independent woman. Oh no, I made that up.
No, you made it up. Are you talking about not Neo?
No, that's Miss Independent.
Independent. That's why I love her.
No, it's like, independent woman. What woman who's independent? No,
I feel like you've made this up.
Independent Woman Part 1.
All the women who independent, throw your hands up at me.
That's what I was singing.
No, your song sounded like something they'd put in Love is Blind.
Independent woman. What woman who's independent?
So, Sasha comes off set. Who does she run into? Cam, the self-described ex-love of her life.
Oh.
And Cam's cute.
Yeah.
He's dashing.
He's like built.
He's hench.
Yeah.
And Cam was actually being interviewed because he runs a international medical non-profit in the Congo.
Big charity alert.
And Cam asks Sasha for dinner. To go for dinner for him, and she accepts. Oh, now we're on to Cooper, fan favorite Cooper. I remember her name's Olga.
Olga. Yeah, Olga.
All right, Nanny was called Olga. Sorry, independent fan favorite, independent woman Cooper, independent man, single Cooper.
Cooper's gone off the rails. Y'all thought he was crazy before. He's back, and he's twice as psycho.
So he's going to work. He's walking in. He goes in the elevator.
On the lift. He's gone up in the lift.
He's gone up in the lift. And who's there? Francesca. Someone else leaves the lift. They're in the lift alone. And they start making out and getting frisky. And he starts her. And then the elevator doors open. Who is it? None other than we're going to Bijou. Again, absolutely a foot in Akia. Charlotte's going absolutely mental. He just swilled her.
Fucking Devon. The most disgusting and appalling man on the planet. Who else better to catch them?
And he's like, and he's like, oh, good coffee place opened up on 6th floor. I don't think that was a Newcastle accent.
I don't know what you did there. It sounded like Dobby the house elf.
Good coffee place opened up on 6th floor. See, one thing I made a note of was that you'll be glad to know, I could never have a raunchy workplace relationship like this.
Because you're working at home.
Because I'm freelance and self-employed. I'd be so worried about my makeup getting smudged. Like, that is a big factor. Francesca has no concerns. To be fair, her makeup looks great afterwards still. But, like, I'd be so worried about my makeup getting all rubbed off and smudged that I would just be like, no, not until after work hours. And even then, it just seems way too risky for me. I'm quite boring like
you don't
that.
Like sex before dinner.
I don't like before dinner, it's true. Also, I don't like in a place where, like, I'm more likely to get a UTI, which is in the office.
Yeah.
Like, I like a little...
So many UTIs in the office.
Sorry, you've been sweating in your suit all day in Wall Street.
Oh, that cat's done such a stinky poo.
Oh, boots.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. What is it? Stop. She looks really embarrassed.
Oh my God.
Oh, the smell is hitting me again. I've got a second wave.
At first I thought you farted and I wasn't going to say anything. But I'm like, did you fart again?
Did you shit yourself?
Did you shit yourself?
So we cut to Billy teaching one of her classes, and guess what she's talking about? She's talking about love. And it begs the question, what on earth is she teaching in these classes?
What is her degree?
But the thing is that, you know what, fun fact, lots of people actually left comments on my last video, that first of all, the girl that plays Billy was actually in this show called The L Word. Did you ever watch The L Word?
No.
It's like this TV show about, like, lesbian relationships. And
I thought the word was love.
No, the world is lesbian. And also another fact, did you know Snack/Life is based off of someone's actual real, like, journal? Like, it was based off a book. And then it cuts to Francesca and Cooper, and we find out that Francesca and Cooper have been dating for 6 months. So it's been 6 months since the events of the last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
The time continuity isn't quite matching up.
What day is it?
So Cooper is talking to his brother Spencer, who he's, like, living with part-time in New York. And Spencer is a lawyer, and he's also gay. Gay icon! Woo! Gay round!
And he's gay.
And Spencer's like, why haven't you told our parents yet that you're getting a divorce and I'm representing you?
Oh, he's representing him in the divorce.
And also, he hasn't even told his parents that him and Billy are getting a divorce. And also, I don't think you and Francesca's relationship is very healthy. I don't think you've taken time to process the emotions of the divorce. You've just jumped straight into something. It's not good.
She's got a point.
So Majid takes Billy on a date to the restaurant that he owns. There's a funny bit where he just walks in and sits down. She's like, you're walking around like you own the place. He's like, I do. And Cam takes Sasha on a date. He takes her to have dinner at the Met.
Is that the gala?
Yeah, it's like a museum. It's like a fashion archival museum.
Can anyone eat there, or do you have to be...
No, he, like, rented it out. And Majid is telling Billy a little bit of his life story and says that he used to work in finance, but he just wasn't happy, so he decided to pack up and move to New York City. And open up his own restaurant, and he's got, like, investors on board. I don't think he took any money from his parents, actually, even though his parents are rich.
Is this still episode 1?
No, I think we might be on to episode 2. Oh no, we're on episode 1 still. So there's a flashback to Cam and Sasha going to the Met, and Cam actually proposes to Sasha, and she accepts. So that's why he took her to dinner. Yeah. Also, I feel like it's low-key a bit manipulative to bring your ex-girlfriend to the place where you propose just for, like, a casual dinner. I don't think Cam is a manipulative person, but I just thought it was a little bit like...
He was trying to be
weird.
romantic.
Yeah, true. True.
I remember when we did this, you and me. It's like me taking you to my mum's old house.
I was literally about to say that. I was literally about to say your old house. So when Cam proposes to Sasha, he says, I want you to move to California with me because I got into med school in California. So Sasha's like, okay. And then Sasha's packing up to move to California, and Sasha's grandma comes along and she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, that's how she said it.
Yeah, she was from Newcastle. Sasha's like, I'm moving to California to be with Cam.
Oh my god, that's so embarrassing.
That's literally
I didn't know.
so embarrassing.
I mean, I don't know who raised you because it definitely wasn't me. I didn't raise no one like that.
Sasha's grandma was actually being a bit
So
peak.
mean.
She was being a bit mean. I mean, I kind of get the whole don't, move across the
Don't uproot
country
your life
for a man.
yeah.
But also, like, Sasha didn't have anything else going on.
She just finished. She just graduated.
Yeah, but also maybe she wouldn't have written her book if she hadn't listened to her grandma and stuff like that. But basically, my voice breaking is so emotional. I'm sorry.
Kath, leave that in.
And that's where it leaves off. Sasha's a little bit like umming and ahhing, like, should I, shouldn't I? And then we cut to Billy telling Sasha that she feels like she doesn't deserve to be happy after her divorce. And then we cut to Cooper strolling out of the office. He's strolling out of the office and he sees the big boss. The big boss is leaving. He's like, all right, see you later.
I'm on file. And Cooper's like, yeah, cool. Don't worry about no one's having in the office.
And then he goes, no.
No.
Does a massive U-turn and goes to Francesca and goes up to her in the office. Francesca's working late and he's like, hey.
He's like, time.
It's snacks time. And it's time to glom, nom, 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 snacks time. He gets her undressed. She's in lingerie. They start making out. Who walks back in? The big boss.
What a perv.
To be fair, Cooper didn't even wait 5 minutes. He didn't even wait to think like, oh, just want to,
What if
give
he
it 15
forgot his
minutes.
key card or something like...
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh, sorry, I forgot something. Oh, you guys are doing the nasty in here, in my office.
That is so not okay.
Cooper's insane.
So Sasha ends up leaving the date with Cam and invites over the guy that proposed to her, but she rejected. Alex, open bracket, choking guy, close bracket, and they sleep together.
Whoa. Is it implied or do we see the scene?
I think we see it. I think we see it.
We all say.
And then after like her pep talk, Billy's pep talk with Sasha, she starts running through the streets of New York. You know what Billy's gonna do? Billy's gonna run. She's gonna run and gallivant through the streets of New York.
Streets.
She loves gallivanting
All
through
the
the
boroughs.
streets of New York. She finds Majid and she kisses him. And I like them together. So she goes to his restaurant. They're kissing. La 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 la. And someone disturbs the kiss. They both turn. And Majid's like, oh, this is one of my investors. It's bread.
Billy, I'm an investor. I'm
Billy,
investing in the
I'm
restaurant.
investing in restaurants now.
Billy,
Billy.
my wife, she's a model. And I'm investing in the restaurants also.
Billy. Sorry, I don't know what I was going to say.
Is that the end of episode 1 at least? Oh my god, is that the time?
Oh my god, we're going to have to do a cheese for dinner.
No, I need to cook that.
Are you seriously going to cook a stew at 10 p.m? We're on
Yeah.
episode 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2 starts with,
Episode
I've
dos.
put in the notes, why did I just see the head of Brad's penis tucked into his jeans? I feel like that's not legal.
The head of the snakes is
Oh.
tucked up into the waistband of his pants.
Ay. So there's like these fantasies of Billy and Brad sleeping together after they've both decided to leave their partners. Like he's like, I've left Gigi. She's like, I've left Cooper. And you immediately assume that Billy is going to be having these flashbacks. Wrong. It's Brad having these flashbacks. Bear in mind, his girlfriend is fucking pregnant. This guy is literally such a
He's
pig.
an arsehole. He hates pregnant women.
He hates pregnant women.
As soon as his girlfriends get pregnant, he's like, oh.
And it cuts to Brad in his apartment with his new girlfriend Gigi, who personally I think is delightful. I think she's British.
Said that her hair was not realistic to if she was a model.
I thought her hair was a little bit Frankie from the Saturdays-esque. And Gigi is redecorating his entire, bachelor pad to be covered in basically every single blush pink piece of furniture she could find.
Yeah.
And
Just removing stuff that he might have had with someone else on.
fair enough.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't even
most
think that's
things.
crazy because it's every single thing in the apartment. And just to further prove it, Brad cannot stop having flashbacks about him and Billy sleeping together in every single crevice and corner of his
They're
apartment.
moving furniture. Anyone who's moved furniture knows the most unarousing task that you can perform. And he literally just everything he's like it's just sending him into a semi-orgasm every time.
And Sasha gets introduced to basically this super agent who is going to make her worldwide household name famous. Because right now she's a New York Times bestseller, but he wants to get her to like Gwyneth Paltrow, Reese Witherspoon levels of lady famous, I guess. He also said Jesus is the best brand the world has ever seen. Brand?
Yeah, Jesus has got a good brand.
Jesus has such good branding.
He's got the best-selling book of all time. He does.
Is it? Is the Bible the best-selling book of all time?
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like it's the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Billy and Cooper both happen to be in the Connecticut house at the same time, and Billy's mum decides to visit. And Billy's mum is like a southern matriarch, but like in the not comforting Margot Martindale type of way.
Is that character actress Margot Martindale?
She's like the antithesis of Margot Martindale warmth. She's like, you should be providing consistency for these kids. And Billy's mum's like, you've got this random lady looking after your kids. And
Talking about
our Olga.
Olga.
Billy's like, it's actually providing them consistency. And basically, Billy's mum is just on site. Like, it's just on site. She's just scrapping her.
Reason.
And Cooper has her head shoved directly up Billy's mum's ass. He's like, yeah, that's actually so true. No. Like, Cooper is in his bitter era. He's in his bitter era. And Billy just leaves her phone. Billy's like getting stressed, going like, ugh, and just leaves her phone open. Text all from Majid in view. Brightness all the way up, and her mum's just like, who the fuck is Majid? And Billy, to cut a very long story short, gives her mum a massive bollocking, and then they make up. So crazy that, you know, emotionally abusive childhood patterns can be healed by one conversation. Sasha tells Cam that she is trying to take her career to the next level and she can't have Cam distracting her. And they start talking about like Stanford, which was the medical school that Cam went to. And Sasha's like, Stanford was your dream. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my dream, Dad. It's yours.
It's our dream. This is your dream. It's not my dad.
It's not my dad. So real.
It's not my dream, Dad. It's your dream.
That was a really good American accent. Sorry, I'm getting the burps because I'm drinking the bubbly.
And then I feel like that song reminds me.
Talking about gotta go my own way.
Yeah, I gotta go my own way.
But at least for now, I gotta go my own way. And Cam doesn't want Sasha to give up her dreams. He wants her to have it all. That's Cam's like motto. Like, you can have it all, we can have a relationship, and you can be successful in your career.
So why not both?
Yeah, why not both? And Cooper is currently in his disciplinary meeting, right? He's like shitting bricks, and he goes in there. And the boss is like, we've decided to let you go. With a stern warning.
One of them was like, oh my god, how about you say, we're gonna let you go.
With a stern warning.
They were like, okay, he's coming in.
And then they were I would like the bosses if they weren't so misogynistic. Because plot twist, Cooper goes to Francesca and goes, it's fine, I haven't been fired, you're going to be fine. But they actually fire Francesca under the grounds that she is Cooper's boss. So it was like an abuse of a power dynamic.
Misogyny
alert.
I think that should be a mainstay on this channel whenever you're talking about misogyny.
It would be going off the entire time. And Cooper is absolutely fuming about this. So he storms in and he's like, hey, this is sexist. How dare you fire my Francesca? I'm walking. I'm quitting. What we have together is real. It's not an abuse of power dynamics. And they kiss. But it's not just like a... Aww. It's real. It's like a... I might have to cut that out, Catherine. I'm a bit gross.
I've done it now. It's too bleeding late.
It's like a steamy, sensual, like way longer than it should have been. There was tongue.
Boy, if you don't...
Time and place.
Yeah.
And you did it at my birthday dinner. Majid and Brad have met up since Brad found out that Majid and Billy are kind of dating, I guess. And Majid is like, well, if you want to pull your investment, I understand. Like, sorry about that. And Brad's like, what are your intentions with Billy? Shut up. Shut up.
What are your intentions with Billy?
Yeah, what are your intentions? What? Play with her
asshole.
for like 5 years, be horrible about her miscarriage, and then dump her out of the blue? Fuck you. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. And Brad is sort of trying to intimidate Majid, but Majid literally says, like, I really like Billy. I'm not going down without a fight.
Yeah.
I am not going down without a fight. Billy then phones Majid and is like, I can't do this. My life is a mess. And confides in Majid about the relationship with her mum. And Majid is he's just so nice. Like, it's just like, it's cool.
You're like, yeah, sure.
You're great. Still want to
Yeah.
date ya. Billy's mum ends up apologising to her and actually says, like, back in my day, I slept with someone and I got called a slut, so I didn't want the same thing to happen to you. Sasha and Cam are out for drinks, and Sasha gets a call from her super agent who is like, I've just pitched and gotten you a deal for a third book. And she's like, I'm not writing a third book. And he's like, well, now you are, and it's going to be called Unattached. Have fun. The pitch is tomorrow. So yeah, the super agent kind of like a bit exploitative.
Kind of a very bad agent. To
Yeah.
give you one day to prepare an entire pitch.
That's so Kendall Roy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh god, I'm fucking hot in this jumper, man.
You should have worn. Okay, put your jacket on.
No.
Me and Jordan have these matching Adidas jackets. She doesn't like to wear them at the same time because she thinks it's cheesy or corny.
Wow, you can carry on wearing it for the rest of the video.
I'm gonna wear them for both of us.
Sasha has to leave the drinks early because she has to prepare a pitch for a new book that she had literally no part in overnight. Cam's like, that's cool, let me walk you home. Supportive partner. And Billy goes to Majid's restaurant. They do wine tasting. One thing which I made note of is Majid is the least stressed restaurant owner of all time.
He doesn't smoke cigarettes. He doesn't do cocaine even once. It's such an unrealistic portrayal
Such
of a
an
restaurant.
unrealistic depiction of restaurant owners.
Really took me out of it.
Sasha and Cam nearly kiss, but they don't. But then she invites him in and they have sex. But then leave enough time for her to do her book pitch. Because guess what? She's having it all.
Independent woman. Wait, so they are gonna kiss and
They're going to kiss, and then she's like, oh, I can't. And then she's like, then they have snacks.
She gets up in time and she goes to the
they do the
pitch.
pitch.
Oh, they do the pitch together.
I think they do the pitch together. I think he like stays and supports her whilst she writes the pitch.
Like how I do when you're doing your script. So you're
Yeah. House husband.
I have a job.
And Majid and Billy go back to his apartment. Will they, won't they? Majid's like, you don't have to, no pressure. But they do. The most realistic part about this show is that Billy just bursts into tears when they start sleeping together, which is a really common thing. It's happened to me before.
What's that?
When you haven't had snacks in a while,
Yeah.
like it's all just so intense. So you just start crying.
Oh.
It's happened to me once. It wasn't with you, I'm sorry.
What episode are we on?
We're still on episode 2.
You're joking.
Yeah. So Francesca and Cooper are hanging out at her apartment. They've just been having some very hot and saucy snacks. And Francesca says, fast track the divorce, give Billy whatever she wants. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And Cooper's just like, uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. But he's like playing it cool and he's like, so should we get a Chinese?
Someone order Chinese! Yeah!
And she's like, yeah, sure. Yeah! So he goes to the local Chinese takeaway and he's like ordering her stuff.
And so whenever you can tell, you can just kind of feel it in the air when he's about to do something insane. Like in your back of my mind, he goes like,
How do you do that? So he's at the Chinese, he's ordering her stuff, has like the stuff written down, and then some girl's like, really demanding girlfriend do you have there? Like just some random girl in the restaurant, and then keep going. And then basically they bang. They bang in the bathroom of the Chinese takeaway. Sorry.
what's wrong with you?
What? And then he goes and brings the food to Francesca.
Like-
I need to call her Cheska, like she's my friend. Oh, this is really funny. So Brad is having a shower, and obviously he's fantasizing about him and Billy having snacks in the shower. And he goes up to Gigi and he's like, I don't think I can do this. And Gigi has her AirPods in and she's like, sorry, what? And he's like, never mind. He's a menace. And then you know what he does instead? He proposes to her. And she accepts. She goes, sorry, what was that? And he goes, will you marry me? I hate him. I hate him. Billy and Majid are like honeymoon phasing it up. They are banging all over the apartment. They go out to Halloween, like for Halloween party with Sasha and Cam. So clearly things with Sasha and Cam are going well. Boom, time skip to Christmas. Billy also puts her finger in Majid's ass. And Majid and Billy also tell each other that they love each other. Aww. I literally made a note saying this show makes divorce seem pretty cushy.
Yeah.
Because like you get to live your little fun life and then you get to do the parent stuff half of the week.
Yeah, you get to chill with your kids sometimes.
It just seems very ideal.
And the other half of the time you're chilling with your boyfriend.
But also when we have a baby, I don't want us to get divorced.
I don't know.
Only if we had an Olga would this be possible. Olga is the glue holding this divorce together. Sasha is having a pop-up event for #IndependentWomanForLife, which is like her brand now.
Legally distinct from
#IndependentWomanForLife. Cam thinks that Sasha is being on her phone too much, and as someone who also goes on their phone too much, be more supportive. And Cam asks Sasha if he can come to a pop-up with her. And Sasha's like, yeah, sure, knock yourself out. I don't care.
And bad move, the independent woman pop-up.
#IndependentWomanForLife and you bring your man?
Question mark?
What is she doing? She looks so embarrassed.
I love when we look at her and she goes...
And we cut to Devon, favourite American Geordie, with his wife Trina. And Trina's given him a... How do I word this? A part-time job. How about that?
Downstairs car wash, sorry.
Downstairs car wash. She's given him a downstairs car wash and she's like, are you going to finish soon? Like, clearly they hate each other. This is a car wash driven by hate. Devon's like, maybe if you didn't use your teeth so much, I'd actually be able to, complete myself. And Trina's like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck you. Devon just calls her a slut.
Yeah, she's weird.
He's a weird guy.
He's so horny, but he hates that his wife is sexy. Not that I think she's sexy.
It's fine, really. Cool, well, I think Devon is... You know what, I can't even say that. So, Billy is at home looking after the kids, and Hudson asks Billy, in true child dropping someone in it fashion, do you have a friend the same way that Daddy has a friend, Francesca? Oh!
Get out of it! He's such a busybody and a snitch.
And Billy's just like, sorry, what? And rings up to Cooper and is like, did you introduce Francesca to our children? And he's like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Boom.
Boom.
You've been cheating on him for time.
Boom.
You've been cheating on him for ages. You also do have a boyfriend.
I don't think you can introduce someone to your child without consulting your partner.
It's just a kid.
No, it's like a boundaries thing. Also, their brains are all like mushy and floppy. You can't just introduce them to random people.
I suppose you can't be like just having people in and out. Like, they're pretty serious. They were dating for at least 6 months before this conversation happened.
Yeah,
and then it skipped to Halloween, then it skipped to Christmas.
Yeah, but you need to bring stuff up like this. And also, think
ask.
about the way that Cooper behaves soon. This man does not fucking care.
I don't know. She brought Brad in the house to look at their sleeping kids when she was still cheating with it, when she was still married.
Very good point. She actually didn't say this yet. The first thing she did is she goes to Cooper's work and she asks the receptionist, where the hell's Cooper? And she's like, he actually got fired like 4 months ago. And she's like, what? She's ringing up Cooper. Cooper's ignoring her.
He got fired last episode. What last episode? That's like a year ago.
And what I noticed was that Cooper is just morphing into Devon every day.
Yeah.
Devon is like his evil guardian angel. And Devon's wife, Trina, bear in mind, she's had kids, so she's getting back into the workplace. She interviews for like a job at her old work where she like did really well.
She's like
and because she's been out of the loop for a while, basically the interviewer calls her old and haggard. She's like, wow, you graduated this year? That was the year I got my braces. And then she's like, do you know what TikTok is? Twitch? And I'm like, leave Trina alone. I don't like that. That person that was interviewing her was mean.
Yeah, it was very mean. It was unnecessary.
And the interviewer also refers to meeting Trina as a history lesson.
I am a little very gagged.
Yeah, no, I hate this girl more than I hate the bathroom lady from season 1. Sorry, this is so stupid. Okay, so I'm going to explain this and demonstrate it on Lem. Sasha is being interviewed at her #IndependentWomanForLife pop-up, and she's talking about like, so are you meeting anyone? And she's like, oh, I have a boyfriend. Come over here, Cam, meet them. And she starts divulging details in their life, which maybe that's just Sasha's brand, but I thought that was a bit inappropriate, but like, whatever. And Cam's like, all right, Sasha, all right, and goes like this. Oh, guys, it does not go down well for the Sasha-nators, okay? Hashtag talk to the hand starts trending, and they start saying that Cam...
They're going viral.
They're going viral.
You're trending on Twitter.
And they start saying that Cam was silencing Sasha. Crazy. So Billy finally gets a hold of Cooper. They meet up and she's like, why the hell didn't you tell me that you're introducing our kids, Francesca, to our kids? What the hell is going on? And Cooper's like, oh, well, I'm sure you're happy in New York with Brad.
In New York City.
And Billy's like, what are you talking about? Me and Brad aren't together. And Cooper's like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Billy's like, no, I'm being serious. Like, he actually has gotten another woman pregnant.
Like, for real.
Like, he has a girlfriend. And Cooper's just like, oh. So it wasn't about Brad. It was about me. Oh. And Billy actually tells Sasha that she's worried about Cooper because it seems like he's spiraling, which he is.
Oh, he for sure spiraling.
Cooper runs into none other than Trina, Devon's wife, and they're chatting at the train station in Connecticut.
Like, do you have a twitch?
Yeah. And he's like, I mean, some people say that there's something wrong with my eye, but like, she's like, no, it's a streaming platform. And Cooper invites Trina over to have snacks. Meanwhile, Billy, Sasha, and Cam all go to Majid's restaurant for like a Christmas party. And Billy's sort of trying to get a hold of Majid, but Majid seems to be with this one woman, and she's a little bit older, and she's like, what's going on? It's making her feel a little bit insecure, but she's not she's not sweating the small stuff. And Cooper gives Olga the night off so he can sneak Trina in. He's like, go, do something, like, leave.
Could have had Olga stay with the kids and then take her to a hotel or something.
Sorry, could have waited 4 days until he's in New York, then invite her to New York, and then rent out a hotel. He makes enough money. He lives in Connecticut, my lovely followers notified me that Connecticut is very expensive to live in. Billy's telling Majid, like, oh, who's this woman that you're talking to? Da, 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 da. And Majid's like, it's Crystal, it's one of the investors.
One of my investors.
Flirting is one of, like, the restaurant jobs.
That's an investment tactic.
You've got nothing to stress about, babes. Brad and Gigi arrive at the Christmas party, and Billy finds out that Brad and Gigi are married and that Enrique Iglesias serenaded their first dance at their wedding, just to add salt into the wound. Brad apologizes to Billy. Gigi then asks Billy for breastfeeding advice in, like, the rudest way possible. She's like, have you breastfed? I heard it makes your tits really saggy and gross.
So I feel like she's like, yeah, so you must have, right?
I love Gigi on other days, but not a good one for the Gigi defenders. Cooper and Trina.
They're in the bedroom. They're getting down.
She ties him up. She's in lingerie. Like, they're ready to get freaky, and Hudson swings that door open. And he's like...
Oh, she's tied him up, isn't it?
She tied him up. And Hudson's like, what's going on? And Cooper's like, fuck off, Hudson, you fucking little prick.
He's like, I can't fucking stand you.
And he runs out crying. And you know what? Poor Hudson. I'm a Hudson defender today.
Actually, maybe just stay in bed.
And Billy is like looking for Majid. She's going around like, where's Majid? Where's Majid? At the Christmas party at his restaurant. Someone's like, oh, I think he's in his office. She goes in. Boom. The investor is getting really, like, cozy, like, kissing his neck, touching his crotch. And Billy's like,
oh my God.
And
what's the matter with you guys?
And then Billy storms out after seeing Majid. Hudson FaceTimes her, like, Mommy and Dad, not Mommy and Daddy, Daddy and Trina had their clothes off and they were tying each other up. And Billy's like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
What is going on? And Billy, like, gets on the phone with Cooper. She's like, what is going on? I'm not having a bar of this. And meanwhile, Sasha is actually having a PR disaster because hashtag Miss Dependent is trending. Super agent tells her, this guy's killing your brand. You have to sack him off. Billy actually goes to the house in Connecticut. Her and Cooper are talking to each other. Cooper's basically like really sad about the divorce. Billy apologizes, but then Cooper finds out that Billy is seeing someone else, Majid, and he like gets really like pissed off about it and kicks her out of the house.
He's losing it.
Oh yeah, no, actually to be fair, Billy suggests that they go to counseling, and then Cooper's like, okay, spend the night. And Billy's like, actually, I'm seeing someone else. And Cooper's like, what the fuck? Cooper sleeps with someone who suspiciously looks so much like Billy. And then we find out not only is she a college student, she was his Uber driver. He's like, all right, bye, Summer. And she's like, my name's Autumn.
Close though.
And then one of the Connecticut mums, I think her name is Jerry, invites Billy to like her spa birthday party. And remember, Billy hasn't really spoken to the Connecticut mums since they all fell out last season, especially Trina, who did on Cooper's
Olga.
But she's like, you know what, fine. And at the spa thing, her and Trina actually make up. Meanwhile,
While they rub stuff on each other's backs.
anyways, Jerry is like, oh, so sorry to hear about your super sexy ex. And then Billy's like, what the hell are you talking about? Brad is being sued for $450 million
That's all of his
by
money.
artists.
Or at least most of it.
Billy decides to text Brad and it's like, are you okay? Da-da-da. Trina comes out of massage and she's like, Jerry, what the hell? Your masseuse just tried to go down on me. And Jerry's like, wait, what? I thought he just went down on me. I thought it was our special thing. But this guy, he'd be going down on everyone.
He'd be doing what he needs to do.
Billy goes to Brad's apartment and she's like, I'm so sorry about what's happening. And apparently, according to Brad, it's all this guy's fault it's to do with stealing artists' work and stuff like that. He says that it's this guy called Ron that works for him. And Billy's like, well, yeah, I always had a bad feeling about him. And it's like, yeah, sure you did, babe. And he tries to kiss Billy, but she turns him down.
She's like, you're broke now. I don't fancy you anymore. I thought love was only true in fairy tales.
So bear in mind, Cooper and Francesca haven't actually seen each other since he went a little bit off the rails. He's just been sleeping with any woman with a pulse. And Francesca finally confronts him and is like, you literally ghosted me.
What's
and
going on?
she
I've been
has
fired from my job.
Yeah, and she has Devon in tow and she gives him all of his stuff from her apartment. She's like, never contact me again. And Devon's like, yeah. Devon, you're literally meant to be Cooper's best friend. What is going on?
Because Cooper just did his wife.
Yeah, but they were still friends at work. Remember, they made up after the fight in the season finale.
No, but because Cooper tried to do it again.
Oh, yeah. All right,
That's
so
why
Devon and Cooper are falling out again. I just realized I called Jerry. Her name is actually Carol. Carol tells the girls that she actually books for a massage in with Sven, the masseuse, once a month. And they're like, I thought you were happy in a marriage.
Sven.
And she was like, I am happy, but I just want to have good relations, and he gives that to me, and all the women are like, so profound. So Gigi then texts Billy and says, we need to meet up. And then Sasha goes to Cam's work, they bang in the office, and then she goes, by the way, I think we should publicly break up, but like we should still keep seeing each other. And Cam's just like, I don't like that.
No.
I don't agree with that. Billy meets Gigi on her photo shoot where she's like covered in gold with her pregnancy bump. She looks really good. And Gigi's literally like, I basically have a Ring doorbell. I saw you go to Brad's apartment. What did you do? Billy's like, nothing happened. Gigi's like, you've had your chance. Now give me mine. I'm pregnant. Da-da-da-da-da. And Gigi does actually realize that the only reason that Billy and Brad aren't together is because Gigi's pregnant, and it makes her feel really sad. But she still tells Billy, like, leave him
Back
alone.
off.
Let me have a chance for us to have a family.
You've got Majid.
Cooper is getting drunk in a bar and he gets a phone call from Olga, and it's Hudson that's like, I thought we meant to go sledding today. And he's just like,
Go away, I don't like you.
And the bartender cuts him off and he's like, give me another drink, you prick. Da-da-da-da. And then he runs into ex-girlfriend Emily. And she's like,
from the old way back.
Way back. And she's like, are you okay?
This is not like you.
This is not you.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's the pits. I'm in the pits right now. Billy and Majid meet up again. And Majid tells Billy that the agreement with this investor is that he sleeps with her in exchange for her investment. Billy and Majid make up. Meanwhile, Brad is texting Billy like, I miss you. And Gigi keeps calling him, but he keeps turning down the calls. Just wants to focus on Billy. And Billy nearly replies, but she doesn't because she chooses to be with Majid. And then Brad finally decides to pick up the phone. He literally has like 20 missed calls from Gigi. He goes, what do you want? I'm really busy.
Stop fucking calling me.
And it's a labor and delivery nurse who's like, Gigi's in labour. We've been trying to reach you for like the past 3 or 4 hours.
What do you want? Bloody
Sasha
labour.
publicly breaks up with Cam and says that she was just a victim to internalized misogyny.
Misogyny alert.
Billy and Majid decide to go on a Ferris wheel on Coney Island. Is it in Coney Island or on Coney Island? And they bang in the Ferris wheel. Trina is walking out with a suitcase and Devon's like, where you going? And Trina's like, I want a divorce. And Devon is gagged.
I'm so fucking angry!
He truly
He is gooped and gagged.
And Gigi went into labour on the photo shoot, so she gives birth in full glam, which I think is really funny. They have their baby, and it's healthy. It's a baby boy, and it's called Hendrix.
Hendrix, yeah.
Episode 5. Sasha is thriving in her career. She's on billboards. She's opened her non-profit. She is an answer to a crossword
How many years
puzzle.
have passed since
She
episode 4?
is many. She is sleeping around and she's loving it, but she feels lonely.
You look lonely.
I can fix that. Billy and Cooper are officially getting divorced. It's hashtag D-Day. Billy's still at Majid's and Billy's like, I feel like you should meet my kids. And Majid's like, yeah, I'd love to meet your kids. And that's it, just to cut a long story short. And Cooper is like mega divorced. No, mega divorced? I mean, he is, but he's also mega fuming at the divorce. And he's being really cold towards Billy. He's being really rude to her. And then the divorce is finalized. And guess who goes to pick him up in a convertible?
Who pulls up
blasting
right
the music. I woke up in the new Bugatti. Like, it's Devon, pulls up. They've clearly made up since
Obviously.
Cooper tried to sleep with his wife for the second time.
Again.
They're just doing bumps of gear.
And they're like, divorce.
And they're just doing genuine keys of gear in the car, in public, in front of a courthouse.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on.
It was rogue. It was rogue. Like, I was literally like, who the hell would do this?
And there was like a second where Cooper considered not getting in the car. He's like,
yeah, that was like him in the gym.
yeah, it's like,
All right.
and where they're going to Las Vegas.
No, they're not.
Devon's number plate says BDE.
Sasha sees Cam out having drinks with another woman, and so she like intentionally bumps into him, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on? Who's that?" And Sasha actually asks Cam if they can go for a drink, and he agrees. Meanwhile, Billy is introducing Majid to her kids, and she rings him on the phone, and Majid's like, "All right, see you later, baby." And Hudson's like, "Why is he calling you a baby?" Which is making me laugh. Cooper and Devon are meant to be doing an important meeting, but they both blow it off because it's divorce day.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because like Cooper will be hanging out with Devon and loving it, and then as soon as he teeters off to being too misogynistic, Cooper's just like, oh, like there was one part where
no, I don't like that.
they're talking about their divorces because they're both getting divorced.
Yeah.
And Devon's like, yeah, fuck Trina and her whore lingerie. And Cooper's like, all right.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Devon and Cooper go and chat up some ladies in a bar. And Cooper literally says these words like, lasses, what's going on? Which is maybe proof that they know what Newcastle is in snack/life lore. Billy introduces Majid to her kids. She also runs into Brad at the park with baby Hendrix. Hudson is vibing with Brad, and then Majid comes along and Majid tries to shake his hand, and Cooper's just like, you get off me, crusty. But they end up bonding in the end.
Later on, yeah.
Later on. Brad also alludes that there's problems with him and Gigi. Cooper, meanwhile, is partying with Devon and these two women in a hotel room. He's doing
loads of blow.
lines.
They're getting a bit crazy. Everyone's getting a bit out there.
Sasha goes for drinks with Cam and tells him that she misses him. Then they sleep together, and then Cooper finds out that the women that they met at the bar are actually sex workers that Devon hired, and he's just like, all right, let's pay for another few hours, and they both rent out Ferraris, convertible cars, Bugattis.
Then he throws a chair out the window.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry, I forgot about that detail.
Everyone's having so much fun, like, oh my god, it's so crazy, you guys are so crazy. He goes, woo! And he like chucks a chair off the balcony, and it lands on like a car, and everyone's like, why did you do that?
But then everyone goes, woo! Devon and Cooper both hire out very expensive sports cars and decide to drive to Connecticut.
Yeah,
Terrible idea.
on the motorway.
Terrible idea. Or the freeway.
The highway.
Oh, is that what they call it?
I don't know.
Oh my god, it's really funny. They just pull off the convertible roof of their hands and it just doesn't feel right. You know that? They just pull the... I'm literally like, that's not a real
I
convertible.
took the top off.
It's made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
They're cruising back to Connecticut. Meanwhile,
missing the
Majid
transition.
takes Billy and the kids to his restaurant, hypes all the kids up on sugar, and he's like, I'll meet you back at the house. Majid goes back to the house and he's getting the ick from Billy's kids because they're so hyped up on sugar they haven't gone to sleep yet. The entire house is gross. He keeps getting gross kid stuff on his hands and he's literally like, oh. But he moves past it and he's like, it's fine, it's fine. Meanwhile, Devon is getting a BJ from one of the workers.
You can't say BJ.
Fine, getting a job.
She's having a conversation with his lap.
The worker is having a conversation with Devon's lap whilst they're driving. They're racing against each other on the highway. And then, car crash.
Let's ride.
Like, and it's just like,
What?
it's so like intense because you know he's been drinking. You see him do more coke. And then as Cooper's driving the car, he's talking like an insane person.
The worker keeps talking to him about like, oh, I love Connecticut because of this, that. And he's like, shut up, stop talking. So he closes his eyes. Then when he closes his eyes, he crashes the car. And I think it's Devon's car flips over. Yeah, crazy. And meanwhile, this is going on, Billy and Majid are banging. Billy's living her best life.
So that in that situation, Cooper was doing life and Billy was doing snacks.
Sorry, but Cooper is literally doing life in prison. Like, it's actually so profound, this show. We are finally on the last episode. Thank God this season only has 6 episodes because I am exhausted.
We would have to do a part 3.
Billy bails Cooper out of jail. Cooper tells Billy that like the reason why it's all happened is because he just keeps reminiscing over their marriage and it's making him really sad. And she's like, that's really normal. Like it's part of the divorce. You can't just move on to someone else. You have to accept it. Sorry, I wrote down, Billy, now is not the time for a flashback. Your ex-husband nearly killed someone in a drunk driving accident and you just bailed him out of jail. Time skip. It's now
forward.
Spring.
Cooper's doing community service.
No. Yes?
He got away with it with
I
no
think
jail
he's doing,
time.
like, yeah, to be fair, I think he just got a fine because he's rich and white. But he's also going to AA, I think, or NA.
Yeah.
Majid and Billy are running into some problems because she's a mum. There's just a little bit of a disconnect there. But to make up for it, Majid's like, look, let me take Hudson to a Yankees game.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. Meanwhile, Cam tells Sasha that she wants him to move to Singapore with him where he's setting up, I think, another one of his hospitals probably.
He wants her to move.
Yes. Cooper is 30 days sober, he's paid his fine, and he's doing community service. Majid buys fucking hell, that's a difficult...
Husband?
That's a really difficult...
Majid buys Hudson.
Bloody hell. A Yankees t-shirt that's like way too big for him, puts him in the car. He's like, do you have any snacks? And Majid's just like, Majid realizes he's not cut out for this parenting stuff. Because to be fair, if you're taking a child out, you have to have things on lock. Top that fits them, snacks, milk, spare jumper. Cooper also tells Devon that he's ready for like a fresh start in his life. He might actually bring Emily, his ex-ex. And then Devon actually had a little bit of an accident in the accident.
Oh,
he lost his...
This is a crazy reveal that should have been saved for like the post-credits.
He lost his crunchy bar.
Yeah.
And he actually got it reconstructed. And then we just see full frontal his new crunchy bar. And he then pumps it up.
He uses
using his
scrotal sack.
Using his loofah. And it's really funny because Sasha doesn't really know what to do about the cam stuff. And Billy tells her that if she could do it all over again, I keep thinking, okay, she would have done everything the same. She goes, if I could have done it all over again, I would have accepted Brad's proposal.
That's her one regret from the whole of season 1. Everything that happened in season 1. She I would have done it all the same up until when Brad proposed to me in my garden after I just made up with my husband and I would have said yes.
Sasha is telling her nan, I want to be with Cam. I wish that I wasn't so lonely. Meanwhile, Majid actually has to go to his restaurant on the way to the Yankees game because people have called in sick. There's a restaurant-related emergency. So he just puts Hudson on the bar, gives him a bunch of chocolate treats, hypes him up on sugar, and Hudson's like, I want another one. I'm bored. Which, to be fair, leave a child in a restaurant with no iPad. Of course they're going to be bored. Majid's like, yeah, sure, but he's really stressed out. So Hudson takes it upon himself to walk into the kitchen to get another chocolate lava dessert and basically starts a fire. One of the chefs gets like freaked out with this kid in the kitchen and a massive fire breaks out. And luckily everyone gets out. But Majid's pride and joy burns to the ground.
Razes it. Hudson, the devil child, has razed Majid's restaurant to the ground.
And Majid tells Hudson, like, why did you go there? Stay here, like, yells at him. And Hudson just runs into the city of New York alone.
I hate him.
Brad actually arrives at the burning down restaurant because obviously this is his money that's being burnt away because he's an investor.
Why is it on fire, Majid?
Yeah, it's actually L after L for Brad.
Yeah.
And Majid rings Billy like, lost Hudson. And Billy arrives like, what the hell did you do, you idiot? And then Cooper also arrives. So Cooper, Billy, Brad, all looking for Hudson. Brad says, why don't you look in the park where I saw you guys last? We find him. Hudson's fine. Sasha is running to find Cam at the airport so she can move to Singapore with him. She's running, she's running, she's running.
About Billy's missing kid. It's not any of her business.
And she gets to like the flight gate. She's like, I want to move to Singapore. I want to do everything with you. And he's like, no, you always do things for me. Let me do this for you. And he moves to New York for her. I love that ending. Yeah. I think that was a really, really nice ending. Billy breaks up with Majid because clearly their lifestyles aren't compatible. Yeah. He's not a child person, which I feel like their relationship came to a very understanding and also like good end because it's very mutual. Meanwhile, Billy, she's having it all, right? Cooper is back with Emily, but Billy and Cooper are friends. They're co-parenting. Yeah. Billy gets her PhD, I think. Sasha is still with Karen. They're living in New York. Cooper's brother comes round and everything.
How long has it been now since Hudson got lost in the park?
Years. Hudson's gone to college. And Sasha and Cam actually get married. And at the wedding, Brad shows up. Brad tells Billy that him and Gigi are done because after the lawsuit, she just left him.
She left me, Billy.
Which I feel like isn't super realistic. Like, I don't feel like Gigi I feel like that was a little bit of a lazy ending.
Yeah, she didn't.
That was a little bit lazy.
I feel like that was her intentions. But I think maybe she was just mad at the whole situation, like that he didn't really love her and trying to get back with Billy the whole time. And
yeah.
The lawsuit must have been the final straw.
I agree. And then, to cut a long story short, Billy and Brad get back together and they get
Billy,
married.
I love you.
And she gets pregnant.
Marry me.
Yay! So, this is the last time I'll ever have to go near this series again as it has been cancelled.
I'm gonna write a letter to Netflix and have a season 3 made just so that we can do another video.
Maybe we should do a fan-made season 3.
Really? Should we write our own?
Yeah, we should write our own. Yeah. I'm not doing that for this channel. I'm sorry, guys.
All the characters.
I'm so yeah, it'll just be a one-man show with you.
I will write, direct, and star in it myself. You just need to hold the camera.
All right. Bye, guys. Low battery. Bye.